There was a husband and a wife at the time of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. They might not be famous, or they are not famous to a lot of you, if not all, except because of their love story. What was their story? The man was called Mughith. The woman was called Buraira. Now, Mughith was in deep love with Buraira. But Buraira did not love Mughith. So she asked for a divorce. And the problem did not end for Mughith. Literally, sisters and brothers, literally, Mughith more or less lost his mind. Read in the books of history. In fact, it's in Bukhari. Mughith, whenever Buraira is walking, he is walking after her, following her and crying and begging her to return to him. And Buraira just ignores him. And he goes in the city. And I always say this, imagine I took you now, 2006, and I've placed you in Medina. What would you expect to see? You would expect to see someone fasting there, someone praying there. This is the idealist, isn't it? And you might see someone who is crying, and you say, surely, now I'm in Medina, this is the prophetic society. He's crying out of the fear of Allah. And he will look at you and say, no, I'm crying because I'm in love. What would you say? In love with who? With Allah? No, in love with a woman. What would you say? Am I in Medina or where am I? You know, I'm in the wrong city or what? This is exactly what was happening. So much so that Rasul ﷺ looked to Ibn Abbas and literally said to him, Ya ibn Abbas, ألا تعجب من حب مغيثة بريرة ومن بغض بريرة مغيثا. And the tears is coming on the beard of Mughith. You know what Rasul ﷺ said to Ibn Abbas? He said to him, Ibn Abbas, aren't you surprised? Isn't it strange to you to see this emotion, to see this love from Mughith to Buraira? And on the other hand, he says, and isn't it strange to see this hate from Buraira to Mughith? He's talking, Rasul ﷺ is so sensitive that he wants Ibn Abbas to share with him this amazement of two extreme emotions. Neither were rejected. He wasn't making a critical statement about either. He was just saying, isn't it strange? Isn't it strange that when someone is in this deep love, this is what he does? And isn't it strange when someone is in deep hate, this is what he does? And then Rasul ﷺ respects the feeling of Mughith. He respects his feelings. He's a human being. He's in love. He goes to Buraira and says, Buraira, why don't you return to Mughith? He's crying day and night for you. Can't you see what you are doing to him? He's going after you in the streets of Medina. Isn't there a possibility that you might consider? And Buraira said, and this is I'm not talking about a rude feminist girl, no, decent, but just doesn't love him. He says, Ya Rasulullah, is this an order? He says, no, it's just a shafa'ah. I'm just trying to mediate. She said, then no, Ya Rasulullah. Then no, Ya Rasulullah. And Rasulullah stops there. End of story. I have thought about this story and came up with 5 comments. One comment was, Mughith is walking publicly in the streets crying. Not feeling ashamed, not feeling embarrassed. And I don't recall in the hadith that there were people clapping and saying, look at Mughith, he's in love. What a loser, what a sad man. I cannot recall in the hadith someone coming and giving khutbah for half an hour. Ittaqillah, ya Mughith, what are you talking about? Go and pray. In fact, it's the opposite. I am in front of 2 people. One is the greatest of the great. The second is Habrul Ummah, Ibn Abbas, watching this image and sympathizing with it. Number 1. This is one comment. Second comment. It is this genuine feeling that Mughith articulated. It is this genuine action of him is what made Mughith famous. I don't recall that Mughith have narrated a hadith or is famous for being knowledgeable or he's a companion, yes. But whenever you mention to a scholar Mughith, straight away the Mughith, the lover of Buraira. He have registered himself in history because of this genuine articulation and expression of the feeling, so much so that a hadith, an entire hadith was built and based upon this action, and Bukhari comes and registers this hadith in the book of Bukhari. The hadith says, قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لعباس يا ابن عباس ألا تعجب من حب مغيث بريرة ومن بغض بريرة مغيث. This is a hadith. Because you know that whatever Rasulullah mentions is a hadith. Even if it was a comment on something that you might think is trivial, it's a hadith. And scholars sit on that hadith to try to extract fiqh and hadith and from this story. I don't want to be extreme, but if I wanted, I could, by saying, I'm grateful to Mughith, because it's because of Mughith that Rasulullah uttered this hadith, and that we learned from Mughith's action, this hadith that we now worship Allah through memorizing. If I wanted to be extreme, or maybe it's because we are living in an extreme age, that a statement that is otherwise normal is considered extreme. Number 3, the fact that this person is crying in public, the fact that he is gaining sympathy from someone who, of course, when the Sahaba sees that he is gaining sympathy, of course the Sahaba will be also sympathizing. No one will say to Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, what are you talking about? How can you sympathize with a lover? No, he is the master, and whatever he does, you should do. That means that the entire of society accepted this phenomenon. This is number 3. Number 4, Rasulullah did not just sympathize, recognize, I understand, I know exactly how you feel. No, he actually interceded and interfered and left his battles and left his problems in administering the political affairs of the ummah to solve a love problem, an emotional relationship between a man and a woman, and went and actually spoke to Buraira and said, Buraira, is there a chance in which you can consider? She said no. So it's more than just recognition and understanding. The 5th and final point is that the word no, no, no shows that women has feelings and strong feelings, and that Islam and Rasulullah respects these feelings, even if these feelings are considered by the man who is expected to be loved but in real terms is not, even if that is painful to him, but this is life. But this is life. We should respect. I mean, Rasulullah did not go and say, look, I order you. And I would expect that if Mughith came and said to Ya Rasulullah, what did she say? Rasulullah would say, she said no. Ya Rasulullah, can you force her? Rasulullah of course would say no. So all in all, respect for this concept of love. I know that LOVE and this red heart, love heart, and Valentine Day, I know that in the West the word love now is being abused and has negative connotation. But I'm not going to allow that this abuse of the word to make me refrain from using it, because it was there, it's a human phenomena, it's a natural phenomena. Now the way that you express it, yes, we can discuss that. But as a feeling, it's legitimate. And it shows that we are humans. We are not machines or animals. It shows that. It shows that to parents who want to marry their daughters by force to X and Y. It shows that I am a human being, even if I was 16.